I make jewelry from wood, mostly rings, but we're getting into earrings and necklaces and things like that. The very first ring that I made was actually for my wife. His name is Jordan. We were dating at the time, and it was her birthday coming up, and I really just, I've always been kind of crafty and liked to make things. I've always liked wood, and I just always admire like the kind of artwork that people have that's made from wood. Anyway, so I worked for days on this ring that, turned out pretty nice, but it was, definitely kind of jagged, not like it is now. But that was the start of it. And then once I started selling, I started to get a lot of orders from women getting rings for their fiancés. So I had my sister, who's a photographer, take some pictures. Instagram is probably my biggest front that I have for that. Just recently I moved over to Etsy entirely, which just helped me a lot. Every now and then I get some people, they have maybe some sentimental type of wood that they just have in their home, and they want me to make a ring out of it so they can wear whatever it is that's sentimental about it, which is actually where the name MyRoots kind of derives. It's trying to get at the root of, what can I make I can do on my finger that kind of represents me in some small way. There was this photographer who mainly focused on landscapes and outside type things, and he wanted a ring that would reflect that. And ultimately we came up with this idea to have just the silhouette of some mountains. And so I did that, and the wood that he wanted was wood from where he served his mission. I shaped that ring, I cut in the mountains, and he wanted turquoise in it, and it turned out to be a really, really cool looking ring. Yeah. So there's this woman in Utah whose father died. One thing that she had left that was really important to her were these cedar blocks. And if you know what cedar is used for, a lot of times it's used to put inside shoes to kind of keep it smelling good. So she gave me one of the blocks and wanted me to make a ring out of it. And so I made a ring out of it. And I mean, it was really cool to give it to her and then kind of see it get really emotional, because it was this really nice looking piece of jewelry that she could wear in her hand that had all this meaning for her. I use two different techniques, but I stick with one more than the other. And the one that I stick with is called the bent wood technique. So it's basically taking a long strip of wood that is almost paper thin, and I'll slice that, and what it does is I wrap it, I bend it to the shape it needs to be for a ring. And then from there is when I kind of shape it and curve out the edges and size it, that way it can fit somebody's finger. One of the benefits of making the rings using the bent wood technique is that the wood is so thin and I don't need very much of it, and so I'm able to acquire a lot more different kinds from different countries, and so I've built up quite a collection of different kinds of wood. There's a lot of sealants that I use to keep it from getting any moisture, so you're able to wear them in the water, in the shower. The things that I put inside of it, sometimes I inlay it with wood, other kinds of wood to kind of give it some variety, and other times I'll put stone like turquoise or malachite. Those are some that people ask for, but it definitely brings a lot of cool beauty to the jewelry. I want somebody to contact me and have this idea of something that represents them, maybe even like a flower that they have, like they kept in a journal from some important memory. They could inlay that into the ring and thus have something that is very special to them on a piece of jewelry. I think that's the mission of the whole business. But other than that, I mean, I'm just happy to make some cool things for people.